Okay, so Ashley, what I would suggest from here, in cat-cow pose, we start with a position called tabletop. And in tabletop, we want Ashley to have a flat back. We want our shoulders over our wrists, all right? And then you want your elbow creases, which is this part right here, pointed as forward as possible. And that helps bring your shoulders down away from your ears. I'm actually just gonna come on camera for a moment. And then you wanna lift up through the core, so pull the belly in like we did in easy pose. And you wanna take the shoulders away from the ears. And you wanna press your mid back up just ever so slightly. Yes, that's it. You wanna look towards the top of the mat. And you want your hips beneath your knees. So I would just bring your knees just an inch or two forward. That's it. Hips, I'm sorry, above your knees. And nope, that's coming forward, don't come forward. And you don't want to dump your weight into your hands. And you want to begin to press the earth away from you. So press into the tops of your feet. Press down to the tops of your shins. And then press into all 5 pads of your fingers. Right there, she's in tabletop. And for some people, this is work. For some people, this is a lot of work. So from here, what's amazing about cat-cow is you begin to warm up the spine. And you're working with all of the curves of the spine like we discussed in the last video. So from here, as you inhale, begin to drop your belly, lift your head, neck, and shoulders, lift your bum. So there's gonna be a scoop. No, not yet. Come into the scoop, inhale. So you see the scoop right here. Tailbone is lifted, crown is lifted. So the neck, spine, and tailbone. And then from here, as if she had a little, if I had a little rope, come into this is called the cow portion. Now she's gonna come into the cat portion. So I'm gonna pull up, pull, coming into the cat. She's gonna bring her chin all the way to chest, and her sacrum drops down. And she has a little bit more space here. So I'm gonna have her lift up to the ribs even more, pressing the earth away from her, drawing the chin to chest. So she has even a little bit more space. So much space in that spine. And that's the exhale. And now she inhales very slowly, comes through that movement. Good, see the bum's lifted, the neck is lifted. So there's a curve, it's a natural curve right through here. And then she exhales, rounds through the spine. And what's going on with the anatomy? So right here, she's compressing the ribs. So the rib cage muscles are actually doing this and compressing the ribs together. She's expanding and stretching her whole entire back, all of the back muscles. Stretching through the sacrum, stretching the spine, stretching all of those muscles that go along the spine. All the muscles from the back of the head through the tailbone. And she's stretching the lat muscles, stretching the rhomboids, stretching the traps as well. And when she exhales, she comes through and comes into cow again. Now what she's doing is drawing the shoulder blades away from the ear. She's contracting from tailbone all the way through the back of the head. Contracting. Now she's stretching the front side of the body, the anatomy in the front, the rib cage muscles. She's stretching the obliques, which we didn't discuss yet. She's stretching the abdomen, stretching the chest, stretching the shoulders away from the ears. And when she exhales, she comes into cat. Again, she pulls up. Sorry, I'm in the way. Always in the way. And then from here, so she's contracting the chest muscles. She's contracting the pecs, contracting the abdomen, stretching all through here, stretching all of those muscles through here. And then exhale again. And now we had to get into the rib cage muscles. She's stretching the rib cage muscles, or intercostals, or spare ribs. Stretching all of those muscles. And the QL, the quadratus lumborum, she's contracting right here. Contracting the glute muscles, contracting the lower back, the lats, contracting the rhomboids. It's a lot of work. Exhale, round through the spine into cat, chin to chest. She's stretching the erector muscles from literally the back of the head all the way down through the spine and into that little tailbone that moves. And you can have her wag her tail if she wants to. Wag her tail, so that means this is bones moving ever so slightly. And she's also strengthening her arms. This is a lot of work, believe me, believe it or not. Inhale into cow. Exhaling back into cat. Inhaling into cow. Exhaling back into cat. Inhaling into cow. Exhaling back into cat. One more time. Inhale into cow. Exhaling back into cat. This is a great way to warm up the spine. Great exercise to do in the morning. And then from here, make your way back into easy pose or Sukhasana.
I have a question, if I may.
Absolutely.
So when we were doing the cat-cow, because this is anatomy, we're also going to cover over the several hours biomechanics, physiology. When you were having me use the breath with the cat-cow, is that kind of what is the anatomy or physiology effect with that? Like, is it about the rhythm of yoga, or is it about oxygenating the blood, or, you know, sort of, I guess, like, what is the breath
I don't know if I
effect?
understand your question.
Yeah, I don't know.
So no, go ahead, try to say.
Yeah, I think I guess it felt different when I used my breath and when I didn't use my breath. So I didn't know if that
It felt different.
was like a psychological feeling, or if there's actually like an anatomy reason of why using your breath really helps you get deeper into the pose.
Well, when you didn't use the breath and you did it without using your breath, what did you feel? Did you feel a little constricted?
Yes, exactly. So I felt constricted, and then when I used the breath, there was just like so much more spinal flexibility. It felt.
There was more space to access.
Yeah.
Because what you're doing is you're bringing the breath to those areas and you're oxygenating those areas, and you're giving that mind-body connection to those areas to say, okay, I could compress you a little bit more. I can. It's okay to do this. Because the opposite of this is I'm going to stretch it out.
Mm-hmm.
So like, if she wasn't using her breath, like don't breathe and just come into cat. So, and now if she inhales very softly, and then exhale, watch how much more space you can get to and access. Keep going a little higher, you can get there. Yes, see how much more space? That was ever so slight. And I could even take her ribs and pull it up a little bit more. There we go. And see how, and then watch this, I'm gonna get her tailbone down an inch, boom, and get her neck down an inch, boom. So look at how much more space she just received. She just opened up to you. Why? Because she brought the breath into those areas. Now let's come into cow part. And then watch this in cow, how she's, so there's no good way to do this. I'm just gonna try to get out of the camera a little bit. So in cow, she's compressing. So you see how she inhales and she opens up, so she's opening up her chest more in this pose. When she inhales, her belly's open and she's bringing the breath all the way from the back body, all the way to the sacrum. Exhale into cat again. As if I had a rope pulling. Yes, good. Inhale into cow. Good, you see that? Even more. Opening through the chest, you can even get a little bit more space. Beautiful. Exhale into cow. And then slowly make your way back into tabletop. And then from here, come into easy pose. Easy pose, which is not so easy. And then close your eyes or have a soft gaze. And just notice how you feel.
Amazing.
Yay. So Ashley, thank you so much for recording and providing the space here and the anatomy. Our friend Mr. Bones here. And this was video from the ShareLove.Fund manual, Cat Cow. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Namaste.